Okay, so this section we are going to do an iteration without using for loop on a Numpy array. Let's set up our test array, np.array, round brackets, let's go while, let's go with a 3-dimensional array. Again, you don't have to use these same numbers. Just need to think slightly when you're setting up a 3-dimensional array that you get all your brackets in the right place, or it goes horribly wrong. Okay, let's turn that into a dot and then print out test. Let's check that that's all done properly. Lovely. So that's our 3-dimensional array, and then we can start going through it. So I did maybe slightly mislead you when I said this is iteration without a for loop. We've got one for loop in there, but if we were doing a 3-dimensional array, we'd have to use 3 normally, and we can do it with 1. So for I in np.nd iter, name of your array, colon, let's print every element out, times it by 2. So in one for loop, just saying please go through my entire Numpy array. It has gone through, it's taken out the value, it's times it by 2, and it's printed it out for you. So yeah, maybe not quite iteration without a for loop, but it's iteration with one for loop, so it's a nicer thing to do. And it works obviously with 2-dimensional arrays as well. So if we put a 2-dimensional array in, round brackets, double squares, let's do 8, 7, 6, 5, and 4, 3, 2, 1. We can do the same again for I in np.nd iter b. Let's just print out the value this time. And that goes through in order. So it does the first row, then it does the second row, and it prints them out for you. You don't have to do this with every single item. You can go with alternate items. So for I in np.nd iter b, and let's say I want everything on my first row, and then so I want to use all of my rows, and I want to get alternate items out of those rows. And if you print that out, so that's gone through everything, but it's only printed out the alternate values. And if you wanted to say do the first row only, for I in np.nd iter b, show only the first row, so up to the first row, but then everything on our columns, colon, print I. That's going to select just that first row for us. So you can play around with that, and you can select the bits you want from the particular rows and columns with those options. And remember, the negative options are there as well to go from the end of, and all those normal options that you have when you're slicing it into something. Okay, so when you're ready, the last little bit we're going to have a look at is selecting actions. So I'll see you at that video when you're ready.